Hey guys, today I'm going to create this really easy soft glam makeup look. I have all my makeup products in front of me and I'm going to start with my moisturizer. This is the Amino Emollient Cream and this one sits really nicely under makeup. I am massaging it into my skin and then I'm going to let it sit for a minute or two before I apply any foundation or concealer. This makeup video is a little more detailed, so you will see me blending. I didn't edit out a lot of parts where I was blending or applying products and then taking my time to blend them into my skin. So you will see all that and all the steps, and yeah, that's it. Today, instead of applying the foundation first, I'm going to start with concealer and I'm going to underpaint the parts where I want to highlight my face, and then I will use the foundation over it. And I feel like this technique gives a more seamless look, especially if you are wearing a lot of makeup and you're going to an event. You want your makeup to look good in photos and last longer. Also, when I use my concealer on the top of my foundation, I leave it on my skin for about a minute and then I blend it to enhance the coverage. But when I use my concealer first on my skin, I blend it right away. I'm using a damn beauty blender here, and as soon as I finished applying the concealer, I started blending it. I'm also priming my lids with the same concealer. I will apply a little more on the lids to prime them properly, which you will see in the next clip. But whatever was left after blending the concealer under the eyes, I did go over the lids once before applying more concealer there. I have some discoloration around my lips, and the best way to cover any discoloration is to use a color corrector, but I just used my same concealer that I was using to highlight my face. And this is okay if you are going to use the foundation on the top of the concealer, especially if the concealer is very light like the one I'm using here. But if you use it on the top of your foundation and you don't use any other product on the top of that, it's going to look gray and it's going to look really bad. So if you do this before you put on foundation if your concealer is lighter than your skin tone. I'm now mixing my Sephora foundation with LA Girl White Pigment because the foundation is not my shade, so I'm just trying to make it my shade, mixing it on the back of my hand, and then I'm using this expert face brush from Real Techniques to apply the foundation all over my face. And I'm using the brush to apply the foundation and spread it around on my face, and after that I will use the beauty blender to blend it. If you have any questions regarding this tutorial or makeup video, I don't know if I can call this a tutorial. I think I can because I am showing all the steps. Anyways, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section and I'll answer all of them. I always take a lot of time to blend my makeup, and that makes a huge difference in how it looks and also how long it lasts. For some reason, I think it's because all the products are sitting better on the skin when you're blending it, and that's why the makeup lasts longer too. But it does make a huge difference if you take your time to blend your makeup, and I take at least 10 minutes to do it. And you can see it here. I still edited out some of the clips because the video was getting too long, but yeah, it does take me at least 5 to 10 minutes to properly blend the makeup into my skin, especially the foundation, and to make sure I have no creasing going on or no dry patches, the foundation is not clinging weirdly to any spots and all that. After blending the foundation, I am going to contour my face, and this stick is very cool toned. I don't know why it looks warm here, but it's very cool toned. I think it's because of the lighting, but this is the one from Etude House, and these are some of the best highlighter and contour sticks I've ever used. These are so affordable, and they compare to high-end brands. They blend so seamlessly into your skin and they look so skin-like. I don't know much about Korean skincare. I have used it, but I keep my skincare simple. But all the makeup products, almost all the Korean makeup products that I've used are really nice, and they always blend so effortlessly and look skin-like. After blending the contour with a flat brush, I am going over it again with the damp beauty blender just to make sure that everything is blended together and looks blended and smooth. I'm using the same contour stick on my lids too, not on my lids, on my crease, because I want to create a shadow there just to give the illusion of more lid space. Next, I'm using a cream blush, and this one is also a Korean product and it is so good. And I'm pretty sure it's expired and I don't know if it's safe enough to use now. I have had it for years, but it works so nicely even now. I am using my fingers to apply it and then blending it with my fingers too with a light hand, and I'm going to use a damn beauty blender to blend it again. I'm using a highlighter stick next. This is from the same line as the contour stick I used before, and this is also really nice, very creamy, and has a very subtle but beautiful shimmer. I'm using it on my cupid's bow, on my cheeks, and a little on my chin as well, on my nose, and then I'm also using it on my lids. Now that the base makeup is complete and I have used all the cream products, I am going to set my face with this compact powder. Initially, I was going to set only under the eyes and then around my lips where I used more concealer, but then whatever was left on that puff of the powder, I used it to set my whole face. I didn't take more powder because my skin is dry and it's winter and I rarely set my face, but I've started doing it now and I like it. So I am setting my face, but I didn't take a lot of powder. I just used whatever was left on the sponge and I am using it to set my face. And I did use a lot of concealer today, which I tried not to, but for this look I wanted to use more. And the best way to avoid under eye creasing is to not use a lot of concealer, and especially on the creases, which I did today, which is why they were creasing. I'm using another blush now, and I'm using a powder blush. And if you use a powder product, the same product, like I used the cream blush before and now I'm using a powder blush, it enhances the product and its color, and it also lasts much longer. I'm using a loose powder highlighter now, and I dipped my whole brush into the powder. I don't know why I did that. It was so dumb of me. And then the brush was loaded with product. It wasn't coming off and it was dusty and powdery everywhere. And even when I put the brush away after using it on my face, the powder was still flying everywhere. I am going to fill in my eyebrows now, and I'm using a powder eyeshadow for this. And I'm actually embarrassed that I showed that powder eyeshadow because it has all weird kind of dents in it, and that's because I used to have really long nails, and every time I used that product my nail would dig in the product, which is not very hygienic, but it is what it is. When you have long nails, things get a little difficult. So yeah, my nails used to dig in the product, and that is what the product that is why the product looks like that. But yeah, I just used the powder eyeshadow, a black one, and I tried not to use it too much because then the eyebrows get too dark and it looks weird. But I use a little product, fill in the if there are any sparse areas, and I give them the brows a nice shape, and then I blend whatever I put on with this spoolie brush. I'm using a powder bronzer in my crease again to create that shadow and illusion of more lid space. I'm also bringing it down to my nose a little to enhance that contour. Here I was just trying to get rid of the creases because I used a lot of concealer on the lids too, so there was some creasing and I was just trying to get rid of that. And now I'm going to use this gold shimmer shade. You can see a dent in this shade and it's so beautiful, and I use it so much. It goes with everything. It goes with every makeup look, whether you're doing a soft glam or you're going to a very glam event and you want that extra shimmer, extra sparkle, extra glam look. It goes with everything, and I love this. I love this color so much. You can tell that when I talk about shimmers and sparkles I get so excited. I'm using a pen eyeliner next, and this one is almost a goner. It's dry, it's drying up but not completely dry, which makes it perfect for the days when I want to do a very subtle smoky eye, or I don't want my eyeliner to look too black or too dark. So that is why I'm using this today, and then I'm going to blend it with a flat brush and it will look really good with a gold eyeshadow. I had no idea that my mirror was blocking the view here, but I'm also using the same pen liner under my eyes, and I'm using it halfway only. I'm not taking it all the way to the inner corners and under the eye. And as I said, this is almost finished. This eyeliner is dried up, so even though it's a liquid eyeliner, a pen liner, and although it's a pen liner, it was not hard to blend and it didn't look too dark when I used it under the eyes. I'm going to use this dark brown eyeshadow to blend the eyeliner. It gives a more diffused, subtle look, and I really like it. I am done curling my lashes and it's time to apply some mascara, and this is the only mascara in the whole world that keeps my lashes lifted and curled up all day. I don't know if you can tell, but I take a lot of time applying mascara because I have really straight lashes and they're also very fine, so I have to do an overload of mascara to make them visible and look good. And once I used the mascara, I am using my lash comb to get out the clumps, and I also got some on my lid, so I'm going to use my eyeshadow brush to dust it off once it's dry. But first I'm going to get all the clumps out so that my lashes don't look spidery or weird. I curled my lashes again after applying mascara, and now you can tell that I have lashes. You can actually see my lashes now. I'm going to tightline my upper lash line with a brown pencil liner. This one is very creamy. Be careful whatever products you use on your lash line for tight lining, because they should not be rough or hard. You don't want to hurt yourself. This one's very creamy. Always use creamy products. I'm lining my lips with this red brown lip liner. This one's from Olive Deco and I bought it in Seoul from Daiso. I did not add a separate clip of this lip liner to show you because lip liner is all broken and it's like really dirty, so I'm just gonna tell you what it is. I'm using a lipstick next, and this one is very sheer. It does not have a lot of color, but it is more like a lip balm. I'm lining my lips with the same lip liner again just to enhance the red brown color and to enhance the contour, give my lips a nice shape. I am adding a lip oil at the end as the final step, and I am obsessed with glossy lips these days. I forgot to add some shimmer in the inner corners of my eyes, so I'm taking a lighter shade from the same palette as the golden shimmer and I'm adding it to the inner corners. And this is the final look. We're done after a very long time. It took me like, I don't know, 2 hours to complete this, and you're gonna see this in 30 minutes, I think. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you enjoyed doing my makeup with me. I'll see you next time. I love you. Thank you for watching my videos.